Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we are in my kitchen and we are going to be replanting my aloe vera. And I am, by not any stretch of the imagination, an expert on aloe vera plants. But this one was given to me a little over a year ago, I do believe, by a friend. And it was much smaller than this. But I have just about killed it 3 times. It's withered up, dropped complete arms, and I thought it was going to die 3 times, and then it's also tripled in size. So sometimes it loves its life here, sometimes it hates its life here. But I don't really blame it because my house is very fluctuating in its temperatures. Sometimes it's really warm, sometimes it's really cold in here. It just depends on the weather outside. It's a very old house. And I don't have a lot of exposure as sun-wise. So I have one window that points south for the south sun, and it is in the coldest room of the house. So it actually, I had it in there and it was not thriving. It was too cold. So since I moved it to the house, the room that actually has the heater in it and a lot less sunlight, it's done a lot better. So I guess in my experience, the aloe vera likes a warmer temperature and maybe not as direct sunlight if you have to pick one or the other. I think it would do well if I had a grow light. I do not have a grow light, and I'm probably not going to invest in one for this house. When I have my office built, I intend to have grow lights in there, and I also have 4 great big southern exposure windows, which I intend to have lots of plants in, so he'll be so much happier out there. But for today, we are going to transplant him into this pot back here, because he's just in like a little plastic plant container. And I'm going to give you a full circle of him. So this is the point, the front of the plant. I point him towards where I'm looking. Every so often I rotate him, and it really makes a big difference because, like, as you can see, he's very one-sided. Like the back doesn't even have any arms. He's very leaning. If you hear any squeaks or a bunch of noise, the puppy is on the floor underneath me. But I've let him dry out so that I can move him. I actually bought some cactus, palm, and citrus potting mix because I have no idea what he's in right now, but it's kind of like just regular dirt. And from my research on aloe vera plants, they do not actually like to be transplanted. They do not like to have great big pots. They like to be a little bit root bound. And so I'm just graduating him up a little bit. So let me grab my scissors. We'll get into this. Try not to make a huge dirt mess in my kitchen. Alright, so I've got about 1/4 in the bottom, and I am going to plant him kind of low because he has this problem where he kind of goes downward. He's not a real upward plant, and I know that's because he's not getting everything that he needs. He's not either getting the nutrients, the sunlight, or the warmth that he needs, but he's getting what I can give him, so that is all I can do. So let's get him out of here. The least amount of mess and disruption to the roots as possible. Oh, he is dry. He needs to be taken care of. That's just going to make a mess. There's no way around that. That's going to make a mess. A big mess. All right, he definitely needs a drink. Ah! Messy, messy, messy. Oh, I put too much dirt in here. I'm sorry, little aloe vera plant. I really am. I know you don't like to be handled. Okay. Put some of that dirt in here. I'm just going to have to get the vacuum cleaner out. There ain't no way around it. Okay. Come on, buddy. Here we go. It's still not a very supporting situation, but we'll give it a try. I kind of like to tip him. Oh boy. This is going south really fast. They don't like to be disrupted, and I am disrupting him like you wouldn't believe. Okay. Poor little guy. Well, that is about as best we can do. I've been trying to find some cactus fertilizer, the liquid fertilizer. We just don't have any like garden centers in our area, like at all. I actually had a lot of trouble finding this pot. I wanted a terracotta pot. I'm not a fan of the red-orange terracotta. I have quite a lot of it and I'm kind of tired of it. I was really excited when I found this kind of taupey beigey one. Thought it was kind of a nice change. I really hope this doesn't kill him. Does anybody else have houseplants they're just scared to do anything with? Because they're afraid they're gonna die. I've killed every houseplant I've ever had except this one. This is the longest running houseplant I've ever had. And he's not doing that great, to be honest, so I probably just killed him. But I looked for some of that fertilizer on Amazon, and has anybody else ever tried to buy fertilizer or Espoma products or anything on Amazon? It's really crazy because they're like either really expensive or you can't tell how big the package is or where it's coming from. It's a crazy situation. Alright, so I'm going to set this guy in a bowl. So I'm going to water him really good. We've got such a mess going on. Yeah. Just going to give him some water. And one of the major things I've been doing with this aloe vera plant is I water from the bottom. I figure that way he can take up as much water as he can use, and I'm not like letting the water run out all the way through and him not getting any. So this is the first time I've watered him from the top. Well, actually, I was watering him from the top for the first couple of months I had him, and I about killed him like that because he wasn't getting enough water because it was just running out the bottom of this plastic container. So I'm hoping that, and I started watering from the bottom in the plastic container and it was working really well. So I'm hoping that I can water from the bottom in this terracotta with a bowl. So I'm just going to go ahead and water through the top this time so that he gets a good head start. I saw somewhere the other day where somebody said drown your succulents, and I thought that was like really kind of a nice revelation. My phone is ringing. They can leave me a message. I thought it was a nice revelation, but does that go on to aloe vera? Is aloe vera considered a succulent or a cactus? Could somebody clear that up for me? Are you supposed to drown your aloe vera when you water it? Okay, more water. There's no water coming out the bottom yet, so I'm just going to keep giving him water until I get a couple inches in the bowl, and then he can go with it from there and decide if he wants to draw it back up or what he wants to do. Okay. Puppy wants outside. Okay. While I was doing that, I have a second project, and you'll have to look at me through the aloe vera. Here we go. Alright, while I've got all the dirt out here making a huge mess, I have this pretty little container that some of you may recognize. We bought this, I don't know if it was last winter or the winter before that, but I planted a little bitty rose in it, which of course I killed in a couple months, but it was really pretty while I had it. But I have these little succulent leaves that my aunt has a My aunt's got a green thumb for succulents and cactus, and it's crazy. She has these gorgeous big windows in her house though. But she has this succulent arrangement she got off season last year. It was like small, but it had all these succulents. It was huge in the sense that it was a lot of them, but it was kind of a small situation. Now it's a huge situation. They've doubled and tripled and really love their life. But I took a couple of leaves, 4 to be exact. I will show them to you when I move the camera because I only have one camera right now. I don't even know what kind of succulents they are, what they came off of, because none of the ones on hers are labeled. But I've had them plucked from the plant. I did research on how to do that. This is the first time I'm trying to do this. Grow roots on succulent leaves. The very first time. You gotta have first time somewhere. They have been hardening for 2 weeks now. Now I know you're supposed to only do that like maybe 3 or 4 days. Life got busy and they are still sitting on the window still hardening. So I decided, hey, we're gonna try to grow roots on them and we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna grab this dirt that's now all over my table. Put it in here. I don't even pretend that my house is perfectly clean anymore. It's just dirt. It'll wipe up. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and moisten my soil. I don't think this has a drain hole. It does not. So we're not going to get too crazy. There we go. And we are just gonna put these little guys in here. Now, if any of you want to tell me how to do this in the comments, please do. I have watched all of Laura's videos on it over and over and over. And I still don't feel like I know anything about it because it's not something I've ever done before. But there we have it. I am going to just spritz them a little bit with a sprayer and put them back on the windowsill and hope for the best. So there you have it, my projects from today. I'm going to give the aloe vera a little more soil because the water kind of compacted it. And I will check in with these plants with you guys in a couple of weeks and we'll see if the aloe vera survived and if these little guys grew any roots. And I hope that you guys have a fantastic day and I will see you in the